MGM Resorts, largest employer in the state of Nevada, is cutting some concierge services.
Yeah, reportedly all of them losing their jobs right now.
If you walk down the Las Vegas Strip right now, you might think everything's fine. The fountains are dancing, the billboards are glowing, and the casinos are still buzzing with the sound of slot machines. But if you take one step behind the curtain, behind the smiles and uniforms, you'll see the real Vegas story in 2025. And it's not the one the tourism ads are selling, because beneath the glitter, this city is quietly bleeding. And the ones taking the hit aren't the executives or the tourists, it's the workers, the bartenders, the dealers, the housekeepers, the pit bosses, the same people who built this city's reputation as the entertainment capital of the world, now being told they're too expensive to keep around. For months, strip casinos have been quietly cutting shifts, freezing new hires, and restructuring departments. That's corporate speak for layoffs, but you won't see that word in a press release. The companies frame it as streamlining digital efficiency or adapting to guest behavior. In reality, it's the slow removal of thousands of jobs from a city that once prided itself on employment security. Just look at the data. UNLV's Center for Business and Economic Research reported that Las Vegas tourism is down 6.5% year to date, and international travel is lagging far behind pre-pandemic levels. That might not sound catastrophic until you realize that for a city where 60% of jobs are directly tied to hospitality, a few percentage points can mean thousands of livelihoods hanging by a thread. Take MGM Resorts, for example, one of the biggest employers in the entire state of Nevada. Earlier this year, they announced the removal of in-person concierge desks across several properties, replacing them with digital kiosks. The company said guests prefer online options, but the real reason was cost. Dozens of concierges were quietly cut. Decades of service gone with one corporate memo. And it's not just MGM, Caesars Entertainment, Wynn, the Venetian, they've all been trimming staff behind the scenes. The Venetian recently confirmed fewer than 50 layoffs. That sounds small, but insiders say it's part of a wider pattern, cutting floor staff, security, and mid-level supervisors while pretending everything's fine, because the last thing Vegas wants right now is bad PR. But you can't hide what's happening forever. Talk to the workers. The stories are everywhere. Cocktail servers who used to work 5 nights a week now get called in for 2. Dealers who used to make a living wage now rely on side gigs just to pay rent. A slot attendant I spoke to told me she's still officially employed, but she hasn't been given a shift in 6 weeks. She said, "They don't fire you, they just stop scheduling you." That's the new Vegas, a city full of employees who technically have jobs but don't actually get to work. Economists call it shadow unemployment. I call it survival theater. The casinos keep up the illusion of full operation, but behind the scenes, departments are being gutted. Even the jobs that still exist don't pay what they used to. Tipping culture has collapsed. Locals aren't visiting the Strip like before, and tourists who do come are stretched thin. When drinks cost $25 and resort fees stack up, people tip less. Not because they want to, but because they can't afford to. And for workers who rely on those tips, that's a direct hit to their income. So when corporate Vegas brags about efficiency, what they really mean is doing more with less. The same servers now handle double the tables. The same housekeepers clean entire floors with fewer breaks. The same security guards cover more ground. And all of it adds up to burnout. Quiet, invisible burnout. You can feel it when you walk through the hotels. Service feels slower. The smiles look strained. The energy, that signature Vegas hospitality, just isn't the same. It's not because people stopped caring. It's because they're exhausted, and the companies know it. They're just betting you won't notice. Part of the reason for these cuts is the decline in mid-tier tourism. Vegas was built on the middle class. Working families from California, retirees from the Midwest, groups who came for buffets and $10 blackjack tables. But those guests are being priced out. Now, most strip resorts are chasing high-end whales and international elites. They want fewer guests who spend more money. That's a dangerous strategy because it kills the city's foundation: volume. When the average visitor stops coming, everything slows down. Casinos make less, restaurants empty out, retail suffers, and then the layoffs come. It's a domino effect that starts with greed and ends with pink slips. And while management trims staff, they're pouring money into automation, self-check-in kiosks, robotic bartenders, digital menus. All of it sold as innovation. But it's not innovation when it replaces people. It's automation in the name of margin. The more tech they add, the fewer workers they need. The fewer workers they need, the colder this city feels. A city built by humans is slowly turning into a self-checkout experience. Then there's the housing problem. As wages stagnate and hours disappear, rents in Clark County have gone up nearly 30% since 2021. Groceries, gas, utilities, all up too. But the casino's corporate owners, most of whom live out of state, don't see that. To them, Vegas workers are just another cost to minimize. The result? People who've given decades to this city, cocktail servers, porters, valets, janitors, are moving away. Some to Arizona, some to Utah. They can't afford to live in the city they helped build. Vegas is losing not just its workers, but its memory, the people who remember how this town used to be. And it's not just the Strip. Downtown Vegas, the locals, joints, and even off-strip properties are feeling it too. When visitation drops, every corner of the city feels it. The independent casinos, the smaller hotels, they can't compete with the giant corporations cutting costs at scale. Many have already reduced operations to weekends only. Others are up for sale. What's happening to Vegas workers isn't a glitch, it's the plan. Every major operator now sees labor as expendable. They want scalable systems, not people. Investors love it. Share prices rise. But at what cost? You can't run a hospitality empire without the people who actually make it hospitable. And that's the irony of the modern Strip. It's the most efficient it's ever been, and also the least alive. A longtime blackjack dealer told me something that stuck with me. He said, "Vegas doesn't care if we burn out. They can always find someone new, but what they don't realize is the new people don't love this place like we did." That's the heart of it right there. The old Vegas ran on passion. The new Vegas runs on spreadsheets. So what happens next? If visitation keeps dropping, if service keeps thinning, if prices keep climbing, the illusion breaks. Tourists stop coming not because of a single bad experience, but because of the feeling that Vegas isn't worth it anymore. That's the danger corporate Vegas refuses to see. Because the Strip can survive losing money for a few quarters. What it can't survive is losing its soul. The lights might stay on, but without the workers, the dealers, the servers, the housekeepers, the cooks, those lights don't mean anything. They're just decoration on a dying dream. Vegas used to be a place that rewarded loyalty, both from guests and employees. Now it feels like everyone's just passing through. Tourists leave disappointed, workers leave exhausted, and management just keeps counting. That's the quiet collapse happening right now. Not a fire, not a flood, just a slow, calculated draining of what made Las Vegas matter. And the scariest part? Most people won't notice until it's too late. So the next time you walk through those golden lobbies or past the fountains at Bellagio, remember, the city didn't just build itself, it was built by people. And the more Vegas forgets that, the closer it gets to losing everything that made it magic in the first place.